For years, like many of you, I found myself drawn into the exciting world of gacha games. There's a natural inclination, isn't there? This belief that the next big release will finally be better than the last. We're constantly presented with mind blowing trailers, cinematic opening cutscenes, and visually stunning characters that promise an unparalleled adventure. And to reel you in, these games are incredibly generous at the start, showering new players with tons of rewards and pulls. It feels like a genuine fresh start, a world of endless possibilities. But what many of us eventually learn after significant time and emotional investment is that we've stepped into a different part of the same vicious cycle. The initial generosity inevitably gives way, and the same familiar issues begin to surface once you hit that mid game wall. First, there's the inevitable power creep. Each new character release often feels designed to be better than the last. This constant push for power renders your previous invested in characters less relevant over time, forcing you to spend more just to keep up. It's a treadmill designed for continuous expenditure, not sustained enjoyment of your roster. Then there are the persistent storytelling issues. While trailers promise epic sagas and deep lore, the in game narrative often feels borderline or stretched thin. Why does this happen? Because fundamentally, these narratives and character designs, as compelling as they are, often serve as marketing strategies to make you pull for the next banner, rather than a genuine exercise in creative storytelling for its own sake. It feels like artistry leveraged for pure commercial gain. This feeds into the good character versus bad character dilemma. If a new character is released and it's too powerful, the community calls it power creep. But if they were deemed bad or underpowered, everyone is urged to skip the banner entirely. There's little room for characters that are simply interesting or fun if they do not meet the meta. The cycle remains the same. Now, let me be clear. This isn't to say that the improvements in these games aren't sometimes driven by genuine passion from individual developers. No game, no story, no form of entertainment is ever truly perfect, regardless of the immense effort poured into it. What constitutes good is entirely subjective, not a rigid formula. However, the fundamental issue I see is that many gacha game innovations are often born from reactivity. They learn from Genshin's perceived failures or emulate Wuwa's success. It's less about groundbreaking independent innovation in storytelling or game design and more about competing within an existing mold. The gaming industry is so saturated that new titles are compared to Genshin and Wuwa even before they launched, boxing them into this cycle from the start. And let's address the elephant in the room: profitability. We live in a society driven by money. Every big company, to some extent, will be greedy because earning money to survive and grow is paramount, especially with rising global costs of living. But here's my core problem: the money players spend on these games isn't for the betterment of the world, it's for pixels. I understand that drawing or writing stories, creating fictional worlds, can also be seen as superficial to an extent. We are projecting our fantasies onto a blank canvas. However, it's what we want to achieve from that blank canvas that truly matters. For me, it's about genuine artistry, about crafting narratives that evoke emotions and connection, where the story isn't just a marketing tool. Take the argument that's spent on Wuthering Wave banner results in better graphics, world building, and gameplay, for the example. That's one form of value. But then look at Honkai Star Rail, where money seems to be used to create characters that systematically outclass the old ones, causing previous investments to lose relevance. These are different manifestations of the same profit driven model. Beyond that, there's a significant financial risk. The money invested in gacha game is largely non-refundable if a game eventually ends of service, also known as EOS. It's a gamble. I've spent small sums on games like Mobile Legends, but I've never dared to spend more. even on discounted skins. Because I realized this isn't like an online shopping scam where I can demand a refund for a faulty product. In gaming, it's incredibly difficult to definitively prove a digital product is a scam or bad value in the same way. If you lose a character, is it because the game is bad or you just simply have a really bad luck? There's no way to prove otherwise. Contrast that with my investment in art products. Yes, I bought art supplies that didn't suit me and spent over $900. But every single one of these failures taught me something. It made me more cautious, more discerning. More importantly, the act of creating art, even with less than ideal tools, translate to tangible skill and personal growth. My investment contributes to a legitimate skill. We see schools teaching art, music, disciplines that enrich the soul, but we don't see schools teaching game in the same way. While the world can certainly survive without entertainment, a world without genuine art and music would truly be bleak. And that's why artists with a true heart for creation will pursue their craft even if there are zero immediate financial returns, or even if there will even be financial returns. That dedication, that genuine artistry is what I seek to put into my webtoons and stories. And for me, that is far more satisfying and meaningful than any pixel could ever be. And this brings me to my final most important realization and why I ultimately gave up on gacha games entirely. I stopped hoping that they would genuinely care about their players. At the end of the day, it's a gacha game. Its core design is built around monetization through randomized pulls, even when a game appears incredibly generous or seems to listen intensely to player feedback, it's often because there's an underlying agenda at play. That generosity serves to keep you engaged just enough to continue spending or to build brand loyalty for future endeavors. It's not because they genuinely want you to simply love and enjoy their characters for who they are, as readily available parts of your experience. If that genuinely care if that genuine care for player enjoyment were truly paramount, they would have provided characters for free, perhaps as starters, after you meet them in the story, allowing you to build genuine attachment and enjoy them anytime you wish. Or they might implement a system like Mobile Legends, where you can grind currency by playing the game to buy new characters even months after their release. Now, I know comparing a gacha game to a mobile game like Mobile Legends might seem unfair. They are different genres and serve entirely different purposes. But the point stands. No major gacha game has truly broken this fundamental mold of meeting an epic new character and now summon for them. This unchanging core design makes it incredibly hard for me, and I believe many players, to truly trust these companies. And that fundamentally is why I gave up hoping. I gave up hoping for a genuine change in a system designed against it. And instead, I became an artist myself. Now, when I see feedback for my stories, even if it's reviews dropping on my own webtoon, I am genuinely compelled to improve. As a single creator managing two projects, that direct feedback drives my artistic growth in a way no gacha game ever could. Because the truth is, once a gacha game achieves massive success, it often has far less incentive to innovate or genuinely improve for the player's sake. Loyalty bias and existing revenue streams can make true player first evolution stagnant. My art, however, is a direct reflection of my effort and my connection to my audience. It's where the pursuit of genuine artistry thrives, free from the manipulative cycles of the gacha machine. So now I am going to talk about why I even want to talk about this topic. I really want to urge the players, the audience, you who are watching my video, to genuinely think whether these games are really worth your time. Is it really worth putting your hope into a company that wants nothing but your money so that they could generate more pixel to get even more of your money? Think about it. I mean, sure, you can say that when you read a manga, when you buy a book, it's still spending your money, but at the very least, it's translating to genuine enjoyment and not out of greed. So my call to action is, after you watch this video, whether or not you agree or disagree with my take, I hope you'll take a time to think about it. And at the same time, I'd like to thank you for staying in this video. If you're genuinely curious about the stories that I've created, please be sure to visit my webtoon Blood Alchemy. I'm currently still working on my Wattpad and my webtoon simultaneously together. I've also decided to revamp them because I did see my reviews dropping, and I hope that you'll enjoy my story. Also, I would just like to give a shout out to Gemini for the amazing script he has come up. Like, I wouldn't have been able to be so fluent with not the help of AI, but I digress. I just hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.